I am a pincushion. I am a place to store sewing needles and pins so they do not get lost or rusted. I've been around since people begun to sew, and I am often easily made out of leftover fabric and stuffing, or bought in shops as a decorative item. Through the 1700s, women would normally be the only ones to have me, as people then regarded sewing as women's work, and nearly every woman would know how to sew. Because of this, women of all ages and races and social classes would have me. I was commonly used in the home, as that's where women normally sew, or in a textile factory where women sometimes sewed as jobs. Occasionally, I would attend sewing circles, which is when women would get together to sew and socialize. My state of decoration could tell a lot about the women who owned me. The more decorative I was, the more wealthy the owner of me would be. People began to create pretty versions of me in the 1700s, and even made things like pincushion dolls just for decoration. Around the mid-1800s, though, I became less of a decorative item and women owned me more for my functionality. This was because textile factories were becoming more popular for women to work at. A common, practical version of me among working women was made to hold fabric in place while it was being sewn, making work a lot more efficient. However practical I may have been, I was still a very personal object for the women possessing me. Some women would embroider important sayings or dates onto me. During the abolitionist movement, some women would embroider popular slogans of the cause on their pincushions, but make their slogans reflect the struggle of women in particular. For example, some women took the well-known phrase of the cause, "Am I not a man or your brother?" and replaced with, "Am I not your sister?" and embroidered this on me. By doing this, women could show others through me what was important to them and the issues that they faced that could have otherwise been ignored or not expressed. Thanks to these women, I helped spread abolitionist ideals. Like when women would go to sewing circles, I naturally would come along. When other women would see me covered in slogans with their friends, the abolitionist movement would gain awareness and maybe even a few supporters. Women could also sell things like me for the abolitionist movement too, with abolitionist messages embroidered on me, further circulating the movement beyond the women's immediate peer group when I was sold. So, I may seem like I'm only something to hold pins, but I am really so much more.